everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Modern Florida Wedding Podcast. I'm your host, Nina Baratova, and with me today is my beautiful sister, Vanda, and she is a makeup artist. She's done weddings, she's done photo shoots, she's traveled, she worked at MAC, which we won't talk about today because it's traumatic for her. No offense to MAC, but... So yeah, tell us a little bit about how you got started in makeup. And I mean, I know all of these things already, but the folks don't know. So tell us why you have this little side business and what inspires you to basically make people prettier.
Hi everybody. So I got into makeup by starting with painting. I love painting. I love drawing. And just the typical playing with makeup when you're a kid, and I was putting on makeup on Nina, and I just kind of always liked that world of art and fashion, and I decided to get into this because of the feeling. The brides always loved how they looked after, and that was such a beautiful feeling to be able to make someone smile. So I took some courses, took a school back in Slovakia, and decided to make this another full-time job that I had along with my project management job.
Your 9 to 5, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So this was more of a, I want to say, weekend job because of all the weddings and photo shoots. Most of the people also had 9 to 5 jobs, so it was more of a weekend job. And some of the classes I took, I studied makeup in Italy, and then also did a few courses back home in Slovakia, and then slowly started to build my marketing platforms. I advertise on Facebook, Instagram, and from that, it was all about just references and working hard. So
I can definitely confirm references is the best way to advertise.
Exactly. And then after a year, it really picked up and people just started coming back to me. But I do want to say, for any starting makeup artist, it's great to do free work in the beginning, because that's really, you try so many different faces, different skin color, different hairstyles, and you just really need to get that skill in your hand. So eventually you are more skilled at those things than you can offer. So,
and like the more you practice, the better you are, because you're working on such a variety of people.
Definitely. Exactly.
And Vanda actually taught me everything I know about makeup, which doesn't seem like a lot because I never wear it, but whenever I do wear it, people are always blown away. They're like, wow, how'd you do that? And I'm like, my sister taught me. She's a makeup artist. So why don't you start off by telling us, like, let's say I want to get married and I'm looking for a makeup artist. So what is the first thing I should do?
So the first thing you want to do is, just like you're looking for best takeout, you want to look at reviews, right?
Okay.
So you want to just kind of get on Google, get on any wedding platforms that there are out there, and look for reviews, look for the best makeup artist. Along with that, it comes the price tag, right? Yeah. So you might want to save and look at someone who's up and coming, maybe doesn't have that many reviews, but they are great. So you can do that and still save. Or you can go with like one of the 12 years in the business,
more well-known.
But they also have a higher price tag, right? So that's what you want to do. And once you reach out to them, each makeup artist really has their own way of doing it. A quality makeup artist should be able to tell you what's going to happen up front. Usually they will send you an email with the whole process, or they will book you for a trial where they will talk more about what happens during the wedding day, etc. So the way I did it, I usually sent out my whole price portfolio. I actually like to put it up front on my website. I didn't like, people having to reach out to me and ask me about the price and then not call back because it was too pricey for them or whatever.
Yeah.
So I would send them my price list. I would send them what is going to happen. Usually, I would have 50% upfront or pay for the trial upfront so you can book that date,
Yeah.
the wedding date. And I would see them for a trial, makeup and hair, and then I would explain what happens during the wedding day.
Okay. What would you think is, the best way to, once you get to the wedding day, you've done the trial and you
Yeah.
have the practice, they're happy with what you did. What would be the first thing to do? I know you need to prep the skin. So how would you like prep the skin for, an average person?
Yeah, I'm gonna just jump in and say that it's important that the client is happy, because you can be happy, but the client needs to be really happy.
Right.
And one of the ways that you want to do that is prep the skin, because a lot of people do forget about their skin, especially here in Florida. The sun is really harsh,
Yeah.
and you want to make sure that you wear an SPF daily, right?
Exactly. There are so many times where I'm photographing somebody at their wedding day and they have like horrible tan lines.
Yeah.
And then I have to spend all this extra time photoshopping
Yeah.
out their tan lines. And it's like, maybe if you wore sunscreen, protected your skin,
Yeah, tan lines are bound to happen. That is really something that we rely on the photographers. You don't want to really cover up too much of the body, because it does tend to rub off on the wedding dress,
yeah,
etc.
definitely.
But if somebody has, for example, a tattoo that they want to cover up, we can do that. It's
Yeah, I
not a
just did
problem.
that. My last wedding I shot, the bride had a tattoo on her shoulder.
She didn't want to
And
have seen.
I think she got it lasered, but it wasn't fully gone. So
Yeah.
the makeup artist ended up putting
Oh,
something
great.
over it, which helped for the majority of the day. But then after a few hours, it
Yeah.
started to wear.
But it
so.
also helps you to
Yeah,
do it in the
definitely.
post process.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the skin, you really want to make sure that your skin is moisturized. A lot of the brides go get a facial done before. You definitely don't want to do any kind of peels before your wedding day.
Yeah. And nothing too exfoliating.
Nothing too
because-
exfoliating, because the skin does tend to be red, then tend to react to it. So any kind of major changes, you definitely want to leave at least a week before you do. Even if that's just coloring your hair or getting a major facial.
Right.
What I recommend is always get like a nice glowing facial. No skin peels, just really moisturize, massage the skin. Leave it, for 3 days before your wedding day. And just get like really well moisturized. If you have acne skin, I would definitely not recommend any kind of peels before that either.
Yeah.
For acne skin, you just want to make sure you can stabilize the redness
Moisturize.
as much as you can. Hydrate, because acne skin tends to be very dried out, especially because you do a lot of anti
Oils, stripping,
exactly,
yeah.
a lot of stripping. So it's better to have a pimple and not have it inflamed and everything than to have like this redness,
Yeah.
this like super dry skin for your wedding day.
Gotcha.
Well, you can always cover the pimple, but you can't really cover the redness. So
Right.
yeah.
And then on that note, so you were talking about acne prone skin. What about somebody who has more mature skin? So I know that that's always, a little bit more difficult, because it can actually, putting too much makeup on can actually age you.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah,
would you
so-
prep like mature skin, and how would you, edit your makeup style for that so that they don't look, crepey, or it settles into their lines?
Yeah, so for mature skin, you have to differentiate between hydration and moisturizing. Moisturizing is what we like to call, heavy oils. So you really want to use heavier moisturizing products for your skin, for mature skin. A lot of the times, great moisturizing agents are things that have Q10, things like anti-saggy agents, anti-wrinkle agents. So anything that comes with anti-sagginess, anti-wrinkle has those moisturizing agents.
Okay.
Hydration is water that is great for younger skin.
Okay.
You can also hydrate mature skin, but you definitely need to add those oils into the skin because with age, we are losing
Elasticity.
lipids
Yeah.
in the skin and elasticity. So
See,
you
I
want to
I
make
had no idea. I didn't even know there was a difference.
there is. There's
between
a big difference.
moisturizing
For
and
younger skin, you
hydrating.
don't want to put oils on younger skin that is oily because it'll overreact and it'll give you acne. Your skin might break out. But for mature skin, oils are fantastic. And one big tip for mature skin with makeup, especially to not have that creasiness, to not have it settle in, is mineral makeup. So I
Oh, cool.
really advise mature ladies with mature skin to seek out mineral makeup. And the best form that I've had was mineral powder makeup, which kind of goes against the grain because you're thinking like powder for aging skin.
Yeah.
But if it's mineral, it really gives you that glowiness. But you also want to make sure that you do moisturize underneath. Also, for older, mature skin, I don't advise to put on too much primer. Maybe for the T-zone where any oiliness can happen, you can put on primer, but primer tends to be quite drying.
Right.
So even if you're a younger person and have drier skin, avoid putting that primer on. You want to really hydrate, moisturize, then put on makeup. So, but for mature skin, what I notice a lot that the mature ladies tend to do, or gentlemen, they tend to overline their eyes too much with heavy crayon pencil,
Yeah.
They just really kind of go in there.
I think that's something from their generation was like
It
they were
is,
always
yeah.
talking
Back
about
in the- yeah.
enhancing your eyes.
Yeah, because back in the 60s, the kohl was the shit, you
Yeah,
know? So
yeah.
they would really like line their eyes. But right now, it's all about glowing skin. Look at the Asian trend, right? It's all about glowing skin. It's all about healthy skin.
Yeah. What do they call
It's-
it? Porcelain skin or glass skin?
Yeah, glass skin is great, but that's like taking it a little too far,
Right.
I think. You just really want healthy skin. That's what it's all about. Healthier skin doesn't need as much makeup. So think about it that way. I'm probably not like one of the few makeup artists that will vouch for less makeup, you know,
Right.
because I want your skin to show through. I want your natural beauty to come through.
Right. And I think that actually photographs better because as somebody who's worked with, brides who have done their own makeup and professional makeup, I think I've seen both. I've seen people who let their skin shine through and they look gorgeous. And then I've also seen people who, didn't let their skin shine through and, it ended up
Being cakey.
turning out okay. It was just it just needed a little bit more time and post processing and stuff. But yeah, I definitely think prepping your skin is important.
Yeah, and then the tip for the overlining is to really just do a light line above your lashes, underneath if you want that definition, which I don't recommend for mature skin, for mature ladies, because lining under your eyes gives you a greater shadow, which tends to accentuate any wrinkles that you may have. So for lining above your lashes, you want to really smudge it out just to make it look a little bit like a shadow.
Yeah.
Don't do a straight line. If you really want to do that whole nice flick line, do it with a liquid liner. Do it really precisely.
Cat eye.
Line it out. Yeah, do the cat eye thing. But also, one note, if you have saggy eyelids, if you have wrinkly eyelids, this is not really something you want to do because it will accentuate that. So just go for a soft brown eyeliner is fantastic. Do a pencil, smudge it out. Do a little bit of a highlight in the corner of your eye for mature eyes and you're perfect. It's a little bit of accentuation for the eyes. The eye is still open, but you have a little bit of, that like specific shadow in that eye to make it pop. and then of course do a nice layer of mascara. I don't recommend doing six layers of mascara like some people do. Just do it really nicely. What you want to do is use your crimpers. I think that's
Curlers.
Curlers. Sorry, use your curlers for really curling out those lashes. Do 1-2 layers and you're done. You're perfect. Brush those eyebrows out. And it looks wonderful. So.
Right. What about lips? Because I've seen a lot of mature skinned people, like their lips, sometimes when they use liner, it'll like it'll like bleed into their lip lines.
Yeah, that's not always a good choice. So for mature skin, mature ladies that want to wear lipstick, I would suggest for daily use, definitely use something like Burt's Bees, just a little bit of color, nothing too much. And for special occasions, you want to line those lips, but the best liner that I found is the liner of your lip color. So try to match your lip color to a liner, and then no matter what kind of lipstick you're going to put on, it's not going to fight too much with that color. It might make it a little lighter, but you want to stay within your color to make sure that even if it does bleed, it doesn't bleed too much. And then the liner, it just gives nice definition to your lips. Sometimes you can just use that liner and a little bit of lip balm and it looks bomb because it defines your lips.
Right.
Because we are losing those lip lines as we age. So stay within that color of your lips. It can be a trial though, because you go to the store and you're standing there, there's 300 pencils.
Right.
Always you can always ask those professionals in the store to help you match your lip color. That's what we're there for, right?
I heard a trick that says your perfect lip color is the color of your nipples. Have you heard that?
I haven't, but that's cool.
I was like, whoa, interesting.
I'm gonna have to think about that. But
right.
also you can use a really age-old trick where when you put on your lipstick, you dab it on with a napkin, and then you reapply that layer, and you dab it again, and it will look wonderful. It won't bleed as much. Also, one big tip when you're eating oily foods, no matter how long staying your lipstick is, it's going to bleed. So be very careful when eating any oily foods. Just want to pop it right in your mouth. Don't let it touch your lips.
All right, sounds good. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. And we're back. That is where I would put an ad if I had one. But I'm not sponsored yet, so hey,
give it time.
Yeah, come on, Casper mattress, come sponsor me. I need a new mattress. All right. I guess my next question is for bridal makeup. What are some tips and tricks to make the makeup last?
If you're doing it yourself, or
no, like for other makeup artists, like what is something that you would do to make the makeup last super long and prevent it from running or whatever.
Gotcha. So first you want to prep the skin. That's all we talked about, moisturizing, hydrating. But then you want to give it time, because a lot of people, they put on their cream and they start right away. So you really want to let it soak in. I like to actually give it 5 to 10 minutes. While I'm doing that, I'm preparing my colors. I'm preparing what I'm going to be putting on their eyes. I'm preparing, other things that,
You're taking a sip of water.
Yeah, I'm giving her little lip balm, and I do really like to massage it into their skin so they feel like they're being pampered.
Right.
But also it makes the product go in really nicely. So you want to wait, and after that, I like to put on primer depending on whether they have dry skin or they have oily skin. And if they have oily T-zone, I'm going to put that primer on their T-zone. So I'm really talking to the client and trying to figure out what their skin does on a daily basis. A lot of people do not know their skin. So we will do like a napkin test. Are they oily? Well, I'll touch their face and I'll see, if I feel like flakiness, I definitely know I don't need to go in too much with any primer. So I prime the skin. I usually start with the eyes, because when you do the eyeshadow, it tends
It's
to
gonna
have a
fall on your
fallout.
cheek. Yeah.
So what I'll do after applying the eyes, I will wipe it underneath. I'll put on a little eye cream, let it set in, and then I'll go back in and do the skin. And I will wait between the layers of the foundation. But first, I will assess, how much foundation does this person really need. A lot of times they have beautiful skin, especially on the outside areas of your face. So if you think of your face like a little oval shape, a lot of the redness tends to happen around the nose, underneath the eyes,
So the
around the
center of the
mouth.
oval.
Yes, exactly. And on the outside of the oval, you don't need much. So I usually feather out that foundation
Right.
or the
You taught me that is when you put
Yeah.
on your foundation, you start in your nose and your T-zone, and then
Exactly.
you don't go in for more. You kind of just blend it outwards because
Yeah.
the edges of your face don't need as much makeup.
Exactly. You really, really want to buff out that foundation. A lot of the times I'll do a very light layer if a person has beautiful skin, and then I'll go back in with concealer and hide those any redness spots, blemishes that need to be hidden. I'll also do the under eye circles if anybody has any. Most of the times, most of the clients do have under eye circles. I mean, we all work long hours, so
Yeah.
don't get enough sleep. So yeah, I tend to cover those, but very carefully because you also want to apply light layer, because a lot of the times if you put too much, it tends to cake and crease in the lines. So it's better to go in a lighter layer and then apply more if you need. And this is a rule with everything in makeup. With everything in hair. Start light and add on if you need. You don't want to go in heavy because then it's really hard to correct it. So then I will set the makeup. I will do all the powders, all the creams. A lot of times if you want long lasting, it's good to put on a very light layer of powder and then apply a cream blush.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it kind of goes against thinking because you're thinking like cream on top of powder, but it will make it long lasting.
Interesting.
Yeah, but then again, if you have anything with shimmer on it, you don't want to put more powder on top of it because that shimmer will be dead. You'll kill it. So
what about like a setting spray? Do you use those?
100%. I always use the setting spray after I finish the makeup, after I do everything. I also use primer on the eyelids. I use a primer on the lips if I need to, depending on what kind of skin, what kind of, if they have really oily eyelids, you definitely want to use a primer. If they have dry skin, I'm not going to go in with 20 primers on them, right?
So I have hooded eyes, and I feel like a lot of the times, like on Instagram, I'll see like these amazing eyeshadow, like people will like ombre and like do all these crazy like eyeliner looks, but like with somebody with hooded eyes, I feel like it's harder for me to have like that real estate to really have a nice like eye makeup. So what do you suggest for like hooded eyes? What is the good bridal makeup for that?
So I actually love hooded eyes. I know everybody that has hooded eyes are thinking like, "Oh my god, I can't do anything with this space," right? But you really can. You can definitely do a beautiful bridal makeup or everyday makeup with hooded eyes. Like I said, I would usually line the eyes to give them definition, and then you continue that eyeshadow on the hooded part, on the part that is over your eyelid.
Okay.
So you use that real estate space, how you said
it's free real estate.
Yeah, use it to your advantage. Use it to your benefit, and you use it just like you would with an eyelid. I wouldn't go in and do a tricolor of the pride flag on the whole eye, right? But you can go with like the deeper, muted, nice colors to give it definition.
Right.
And
like
then,
Blake Lively is really good at that. She has really hooded eyes, and when she does her makeup, you can tell, like, well,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if she does it, but.
And I love that she uses a lot of glimmer shadows, which people with hooded eyes are like, I can't. But you really can. You just need to focus it in different
Pull
areas.
it up on top of that almost brow bone
But
area.
you also can use underneath. And people with hooded eyes don't really understand that you can do fun colors on the bottom. You can take that liner and really pull it up. And that's something that people with, you know, like the almond shape eyelids can't really pull off that well. But people with hooded eyes can really pull off a funky colored eyeliner on the bottom and really pull it up as a flick. So that's something fun. That's not bridal, right? But
no, but
but you can. That's something fun you can do.
Well,
and
it could be. Somebody might be.
Could be. I had a bride that did a black liner and then a electric blue on top. It was so much fun. Yeah. So, but definitely if you're a younger bride, if you're a younger person, play with makeup. Don't be afraid. Go outside of the lines. Go crazy with that liner. Go crazy with those stick-ons, with the glitters, with the... I just want to tell you because I feel like people don't play enough with makeup. It is a way of self-expression. So go have fun. You know?
What about men or people who are mask presenting? How would you go about... advising them, because I know when you say play with makeup, you mean everyone should play with makeup.
Exactly.
But for like a wedding day, have you been able to like work on, people who are mask presenting or men, or have you had the opportunity to see like what kind of makeup works for them?
Yeah, so definitely I've had the opportunity to work on clients like this, and for me, it's really about making them comfortable, and it's really... No matter who the person is, you really want to make sure that your client is comfortable with what you're about to do. So I always like to stake out what they're comfortable with, what they are willing to try out, and what is a definite no. Because a lot of clients have something in their mind.
Boundary,
Yeah, they have a boundary and something in their mind when they go into this. So for most masculine makeup, it's really about making that skin beautiful. It's really about covering up any redness. A lot of times I've had clients that would go celebrating their wedding day before, and that alcohol definitely triggers more redness in the face. Yeah. So I don't recommend doing that. But if you do, call me. I'm here. So you do want to cover that redness, and for any mask presenting clients, it's really about what they want to do. If they want to have any fun colors, I'm totally into that, and I'm here for that. I've done black eyeliner. I've done just a little bit of electric blue. I've done even a red lip. So I love that people are willing to. It depends
on what they're.
Yeah, I love that they're willing to experiment a little bit, and it's about self-representation
and self-expression.
So, exactly. So you really want to think about those things when you're booking a makeup artist and when you're looking for someone that will represent you in the best way possible for your wedding day, right?
Right. So on that note, I love self-expression, and there's been times where I've done crazy makeup. Like I think one time when I was visiting you in Slovakia, I did black mascara on top and white mascara on bottom, and a red lip, and I was like, this is so cool. And I was wearing like a black and white striped dress. But I kind of wanted you to talk about like Instagram makeup versus real world makeup, right? Because I've seen so many videos where the girls are like overlining their lips, and then they post a picture and it's like, yeah, that looks good in the picture, but in real life, everyone's going to be able to tell that you have lip liner up to your nose,
Yeah, this is, there's like in all things in life, there's things that you want to be able to self-express yourself, but there's also kind of like the haters of the Instagram life, and it's really hard to kind of walk on both of those lines, because I think you should do whatever makes you happy, but at the same time, I think that a lot of people that have seen the Instagram trend where it's a heavy contour, heavy overlining, that really snatched eye with the eyeliner and the crazy eyelashes and you know, like the caking of the setting of the powder, the drag kind of trend, because this has existed for many years, because our amazing drag queens kind of brought this into the spotlight. I think a lot of people saw that trend and they took it in a way as, okay, so this is the new standard.
This is what I have to wear every day.
This is what I have to wear every day. But it's not. That is show makeup. That is photo makeup. That is on stage makeup, and it's meant to really like draw your eye to that face,
exaggerate your features.
Exactly.
Like the drag queens of yesteryear have been doing this forever, and now Kim Kardashian is like, this is what contouring is, and everyone's giving them all the props when in reality it's like, you know, goes back to like all the people who have been doing this forever. And you know,
for me it's like, if I had, you know, I had so many clients come up to me and be like, so what kind of pencil do I need to buy to have lips like Kylie Jenner? I'm like, trust me, there's no pencil.
I'm like, it's called a needle.
I mean, I get it though, because you see this every day. It's in it. You wake up and you turn on your Instagram and it's the first thing you see, and you're like, I want lips like that.
I want to look like that. When in reality, they don't even look like that.
Exactly. You know? And there's so much post-process. I mean, you know, you're a photographer, that goes into these pictures. So what I want to say is that do what makes you happy, but think about keep staying true to yourself. You know, staying true to what you want to present to the world, how you want to be viewed. What is inside you is something that you want to have on your face. So if you want to be an Instagram queen out, you know, at Winn-Dixie, go for it, right? But at the same time,
Instagram queen at Winn-Dixie.
but
I love it.
But at the same time, think about the fact that you don't have to do this to be viewed to be beautiful.
Exactly.
That is not makeup for every day, right? If you want to do it every day, go for it, but you don't have to.
Right.
All you need is a little bit of concealer, a little bit of mascara, and you're good to go, girl. You don't have to have snatched eyes, contour, overlined lips, and those perfect brushed up eyebrows to Winn-Dixie. You don't.
I'm not a fan. I honestly, so like, I like brushing my eyebrows up, like, don't get me wrong, but I've seen people who do like, I forget what it's called. I think it's called laminating. They look like they were shocked by electricity. I'm like, girlfriend, I know that this is in right now, but like, you look like you just got told some terrible news.
Yeah, I think it's some people kind of overdo it, but I know it's a huge trend in the UK, and they kind of always go overboard, I feel like, even with like the Instagram trend. I see so many brides that just do the Instagram trend for their wedding, and I feel like that's not what you're gonna want to look like 20 years later. You're gonna look back at this and be like, this was trendy back then, just like we look at now at those blue eyeshadow, pink lipstick, and the 80s hair. And the
80s hair is iconic, though. You can't.
It is.
Speaking about hair, I know that you also do hair for brides. What would you say would be, you know, the biggest difference between focusing on hair versus makeup?
Oh, I love bridal hair. For me, it's like a different medium, and it's so moldable. You can do so many things with it. I had colleagues that would create like a hat from hair, you know, like crazy stuff. So I really love the medium, and the biggest difference is that you know, it's something that can really finish up that makeup look, really make you look like that bride on your special day. Because if you're wearing a dress and you have your makeup done, hair is a really important part. Think of Meghan Markle, right? When
love her.
She had her wedding. Her hair was completely classy, completely understated, nothing too complicated, and it was perfect. Imagine having her like 20 braids and like too many, you know, like butterflies in her hair, and crystals, it would totally kill the whole look. So you
Right.
really want to match up your hair to your makeup, to your wedding dress,
your bride
to
or
your
your-
personality,
Right.
right? Because if you're a girl that's quite understated, outdoorsy, you're not really high maintenance, why would you do a complicated, over braided
Right.
updo with 20 hair clips?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you might.
I
So.
just saw I think it was on Offbeat Wed, who is one of my friends' wedding blogs. They posted a Viking wedding.
Ooh.
And I was like, this is so cool, because the bride had like, the eye mask dark, and then she had like the braids
That
and
is
like the
cool.
teased hair, and I was like, that's perfect for that
Yeah.
bride and that person,
Exactly.
that couple. But like thinking about what you said, like somebody who's doing like a beach wedding, or like, I don't know, something completely different, they
Yeah.
can't have Viking hair.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, they can if they want.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, like for me, it's all about staying true to yourself. So
Yeah.
if you prefer like a really slick back bun, awesome. But
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've rolled my eyes in private, because so many brides, especially in Slovakia, it was a big trend. Everybody was doing like a braid, like either a braid headband or braided into something else, and I was just so over it, because nobody wanted to do something different. Nobody wanted to
Right.
like do something outside of that trend. And every time somebody came up to me and wanted to do, like, let's keep it down, let's do like a vintage wave, like a beautiful, can you imagine the beautiful waterfall waves
those
on
are
one
so
side?
gorgeous.
I love that.
Yeah.
But I feel like now that's actually being overdone.
Yeah.
so it's like everything kind of for me has an end, and especially if you're a makeup artist, hairstylist, you've come to a time where you're like, I'm so over this,
Right. The
but
trends,
yeah,
the
the
current
trends.
trends,
But you love your clients and you'll do everything for them.
Yeah,
so
you just want them to be happy. It's not
Exactly.
about what you like, it's about what they like.
Exactly. So yep.
So what about somebody who can't really afford to hire a makeup artist? Like, what would be some tips you'd have for them if a bride or a marrier, I guess is the gender neutral term, would want to do their own makeup? What is some tips you have for them?
Yeah, so if you decide to do your own makeup, 100% get online, start looking at things, and there's so much information online today, you really can't go wrong. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, for like,
It is that hard, hire her.
it's like, for me, yes, it is hard to do a different face, different, but your face.
That's true.
I've had to go through many, many faces to get to this point where I can look at you and say, this is what would look great on you, right? And for yourself, I know that it's not easy to do, but you know yourself.
Right.
You know what type of colors usually tend to look good with you. You know that you are outdoorsy. You know that you are more high maintenance. You like everything to be perfect. You know,
Right.
so you kind of tend to understand your way. So
You've had your face your whole life.
So think in those terms as well for your wedding day. Think about the fact, do I want to be more more a little crazier, or do I want to keep it very subdued, or do I want to be very dramatic? So think about those things. Like, if you want to be a little more fun, use different colors. If you want to be more dramatic, go towards those dark black, brown, grays. If you want to be very understated, then really just keep it simple. Go for like a nice shimmery orange color on your eyelids. Not talking about orange, but talking more
Right.
like a shimmer, right? And just go with a little mascara, brush out your eyebrows, give them a little more definition. I would definitely, concealer is your best friend, and look for a nice glowy mineral powder that will cover it, so you don't have to do too much work with with the makeup, right? For lips, I would go for something really glowy, like a nice pink, nice kind of with a little hint of
Nice
orange.
nipple color.
Nice nipple color, exactly. So you can go very simple. For dramatic look, I would definitely suggest to consult a professional unless you know what you're doing, because it can go crazy. And if you're gonna do this, do not do it on your wedding day first time.
Yeah.
So you want to practice. Practice is your friend. Set up a mirror, look at a few tutorials online, and just follow that, and you'll be fine. I mean, you can, if you mess up, we could take it off. It's not the end of the
Right.
world, right? So makeup is your friend. If you have a couple bucks, check out some online courses, check out some in-person courses with makeup artists. They're not as expensive as a bridal makeup. So even if they do like a day makeup and you feel like, they teach you a day makeup and you feel like this is more than you're used to, then it'll be perfect for your wedding day, because
Right.
nobody knows you in that way. Nobody knows if you don't wear makeup anytime and you show up with a little makeup on your wedding day. Everybody's
Everyone's
gonna be
gonna be like,
blown
"Holy
away.
shit!"
Yeah, so
Well, I know it's as a photographer, we prefer when people wear at least something, because it makeup photographs, like, you need a little bit more makeup
exactly.
when you take pictures, because then it shows up better. But I also don't want to encourage people to go crazy, because I know, like, you still want to look good in person.
Exactly. I mean,
So,
you want to look
like you were saying,
yourself.
less is
Yeah.
more.
I
But
always say less is more. But also, if you want to experiment and have fun with it and you want to kick that shit off, go for it. Like, I think just do you.
right. So, like you were saying about practice, what is the secret to fake eyelashes? Because I have never, never in my life, I've been on this planet for 30 years, and there has not been one day where I'm like, I'm confident about doing this. Like, every
Yeah.
time I do it, one is always in a different position than the other. Like,
Yeah.
I think if I had one eye, then I'd be like, all right, fine. But because you have two, you kind of have to put them on at the
make it
same
match.
level and make it match. Like,
Yeah.
I can do eyeliner, I can do eyebrows, like all that,
You
all
go,
that
girl.
shit's fine. But when it comes to fake eyelashes, I don't know what it is. I think maybe I don't wait long enough with the glue. Like, I don't know.
There's a couple of secrets, and it's actually quite complicated. Trust me, it took me a while in makeup school to get used to it, and I'm always better at putting eyelashes on other people than myself.
Oh, really?
I can't tell you how many times I've screwed up on my own eyes, okay?
Well, yours look great today.
Thank you. Yeah, I put on eyelashes for this podcast.
Yes, this podcast with no visuals.
So, the secret, I mean, there's multiple things you can do, especially if you have a hard time. What you want to do is, first, when shopping for your eyelashes, for your fake eyelashes,
Fake eyelashes.
is
When you're in Australia.
fake. So you want to look for something that has a very invisible band. So the eyelashes are on this
Yes.
type of a band. If you have a black strip, I would steer clear
Girl.
of those. Girl, skip it. It's gonna really show. If you mess up, it's gonna show extremely. So you want to look for
It's
something.
better to do it yourself with eyeliner, right?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really define itself as an eyeliner, but if you mess up, you could definitely fix it
can
with
see
eyeliner.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I always recommend is looking for a seamless, almost see-through band where the eyelashes are really just tied on. So they're usually sticky themselves, but you want to use glue as well. The type of glue you use is also important. Best is to use the recommended brands, brands that are tried and true. So you don't want to use your Chinese knockoff glue, because it will definitely give you allergy or anything. It might sting, burn.
So like Maybelline or like
Duo is really great.
Duo? Okay.
You guys need to pay me for that. Duo is great, and I think the one brand that is really famous.
I will put it in here after this sentence. Ardell.
So yeah, you can use multiple glues that are really, really helpful to kind of set that better. But you definitely want to stick to those tried and true
Okay.
brands, and then
Yeah, like you don't want to be on like Ali Mart or whatever buying
Alibaba.
Alibaba.
Yeah. And so the type of the eyelash and the glue, and then what is second thing is if you have trouble, especially with putting on eyelashes, I would recommend to get strips or just the one tiny ones where individuals or the half strips are awesome. If you cannot find them, it's very easy to just clip them. So if you
cut them
I
yourself.
cut them. I literally cut them. I'm even wearing the halves right now, and I cut them because I don't like the full look. I think it's too dramatic. And when you cut them in the middle, not exactly in the middle, you want to leave a little more towards the inner corner of your eye to make it more seamless. It's so much easier to put it on.
Yeah, and I'm sure you can kind of have better control as well because it's smaller. So
yeah, and you always, even if you want a full eyelash, you always need to measure it first before you put on the eyelash glue. Measure it towards your eye. Most of the time, 99% of the time is too long, so you always want to cut your eyelashes. And where you start is you want
your fake eyelashes, not your real one.
Thank you. And then you want to once you
I don't want to get any DMs being like, "Bitch, I cut my eyelashes."
Yeah, we don't want those. So you so once you cut it, you put on the glue, you wait. Now, you really need to wait until it's tacky, until it's really like pulling, like the eyelash glue is pulling.
See, I'm always afraid it's going to get too dry.
It's not. It literally takes forever to dry for a long time. So you really can wait, I don't know, 3-4 minutes, and it'll still be tacky, depending on the glue though. So you want to test it with your finger if it's a little tacky, and when it's tacky, you put it in the middle of your eye and then go outwards and stick it on. Now, very careful, do not stick it on your skin directly. You want to stick it to where your root of your natural eyelashes is. A lot of people put it over, under, they just go too far up. So what you want to do is go literally on the top of your own eyelashes.
You lay them on your lashes and then push them towards the root.
You push them towards the roots and then you stick it with your finger together, your own eyelashes with the fake eyelash to make sure that it sticks. Yeah. Once it's dry or drier, you can go in with an eyelash curler and pull it in together even more. And then you want to go with the mascara and kind of blend them in seamlessly together. Don't put too much mascara on your fake eyelashes because then it's going to look horrible. So you just do like one swipe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's really the secret. I would recommend doing individual where you just go in with one by one on top of your own lashes.
Or like the 3...
Or like the shorter type, or just cut them. Cut them. But make sure that they're not like those super dramatic, like perfect cut out ones, because if you cut it, it's going to look weird. So you do want to do full of those. But if you are looking for more of a natural kind of looking lash, then go for it, cut it, put it on. You're going to look amazing, I promise.
Okay, sounds good. I guess my last question is for people who, have been, I guess, wrongly, how would I say this?
Wrongly painted?
Yeah. People who have been, wrongly color matched their whole life, people of color, people who may have different color undertones, people with darker skin tones. How would you recommend they go about their wedding day makeup? Like, if they hire a professional, what would be a tip to be like, I know it kind of sucks because it does kind of fall onto them to be responsible for, standing up and being like, hey, this color doesn't match. But, what is something you can do to avoid that other than having a trial?
Yeah, so it is really important to color match because you always want to make sure that your neck and your body and your face are seamless, especially even for you as a photographer. Those things are pretty important. But you also want to feel good in your skin. A lot of the times I have clients that are people of color and they want to be lighter. They want to look lighter, which I understand. There's reasons everyone has behind it.
Societal norms or...
Yeah, which I'm not going to get into because that is everyone's story, right? That's everyone's kind of battle battle, and I don't want to,
You don't want to speak for them.
I don't want
basically.
to speak for them, exactly. But what I always recommend to my clients is testing your foundation in daylight. It is very hard, especially if you're in a store and you're looking for foundation. The neon lights don't help.
Yeah, that's
So,
always hard.
yeah, but that's what the trial, as a bride or groom or whoever wants to try on foundation, that's what it's for. When you're shopping alone for makeup, you want to get a sample, or you want to really go into that drugstore or go into that department store, ask them to put it on and then leave with it. You don't
Right.
want to, because makeup does oxidize.
Right.
And
I've
you
noticed
need to-
that too. I've
Yeah.
gone to Sephora and I've been like, okay, I'll try this. And
Yeah.
so I put it on and then I leave the store and I look in my rear view mirror and I'm orange.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. So you really need to give it time and see it
Yeah.
under daylight. But also for people of color, it's especially hard to find brands that are right on, that really have those skin colors for you, to have that choice. So you really want to look at some name brands that do carry.
Fenty has a lot.
Fenty has amazing color choices, definitely. So yeah, look at those brand names that do carry those colors and speak to those professionals. That's what they're there for. We literally spend hours just skin matching, and if you cannot find a foundation that has your exact skin color, you
can
make
blend
it.
it,
Yeah,
right.
you make that skin color. So we're taught that. So do not be afraid to talk to someone that knows what they're doing. And I definitely recommend giving it time, letting it oxidize on your skin, seeing it in daylight. And don't be afraid to speak up, because if they give you foundation that you're not happy with, or you buy something, return that shit. You don't want it. I
Right.
mean, it's about you, and especially for your wedding day, you want to make sure that you feel good. And I think for like, how do you match it? It's not a simple science, because you have to, for one, look at the color of your veins, which is harder for people of color. But for people of color, there is another hack that you can do, which is also a hack for people of different
People
skin
of
colors.
not color. Them
You can-
whites.
Yeah, you can always look at your neck and try to match that color. So
Right.
what I like to do is, when I'm matching skin color, I'll pull up the foundation from your cheek all the way down to your neck. A lot of the times, though, your neck will not match your skin.
Oh, gosh.
Which is because of sun exposure, different various
Yeah.
things that come into that. But so I always say, match it to your body. Don't go on your face. Match it to your body, because your body's the one that's not going to be covered, right? It's not going to have that makeup on.
You're not going to put makeup on your body to match your face. You're going to
Exactly.
put makeup on your face to match your body.
Yeah, and which is, clients sometimes don't understand that, and they're thinking like, why am I so pale? Why am I so brown?
Right.
But it's really about matching them. And then once you start to put on those colors, that concealer, that powders,
The blush,
it's gonna
the
look amazing.
contour,
but you
right.
need to believe in the process.
Yes.
Because sometimes, clients do freak out, but you need to trust the process, how they say.
Right.
And I think it's important to match the color. Sometimes I'll have people, clients of color, that will come to me and they want to be lighter, like I said, but trust the process, because after I am done with you and you want to look lighter, I will make sure with those concealers and the powders that you will be brighter in the center of your face.
Right. So I don't know if they technically want to look lighter. They want to look like
brighter, glowing.
like shining is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Right.
like more of a glowing, I would
Glowing
say.
bridal makeup.
Yeah. So that is definitely the goal and the end process of it. So they just need to trust the person that is doing their makeup, and if you're not happy, you need to voice your opinion as well. So
And if you have like your favorite foundation that you know is your favorite one, like, could you bring it with you on your wedding day?
100%.
Yeah.
I always encourage people, if they have their favorites. I had clients that have their favorite mascara and they like to put 7 layers of it on. So I'll just let her do her thing
Yeah.
when I'm done,
Go for it, girlie.
Yeah, so or they like their foundation because it's light. It's Giorgio Armani for $60,
Oh
and
my
they
gosh,
love it. And
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, go for it. I mean,
Right.
we'll use it. So I do like to incorporate that. And it's really up to the client what they want to see and how they want it done. So, I'm there just to make it happen.
Facilitate, right? And what about like some of your favorite tools? Because I know that there's people who swear by this $60 foundation brush, and then there's other people who are like, I use my hands, So
yeah,
what do you...
it's really up to you what you like. I really like to use well, for my clients when I'm doing any type of skincare, I'm using clean hands. With COVID being introduced, I did have to switch to brushes for some time just because I wanted my clients to feel safer.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I do like to use my hands because of the warmth of the hands. Your hands will warm up a product and it blends in more seamlessly if you're willing to put the work in it. But that is the same thing with the brushes or beauty blenders. If you put in the work, then your makeup can look flawless with any type of medium brush, right? Or any type of beauty blender or any type of fingers. But it's really
Any type of tool.
Exactly. It's really up to you. And what I want to emphasize is the blending. Blend, blend, blend. Make sure you do that because no matter what tool you use, if you don't blend well enough, it's gonna look shit. So it's really important. I do love to use brushes for eyeshadows. I like to use brushes for lips when I really need a well-defined lip. If I'm doing some kind of pop of color, I definitely like to use brushes. For foundation, for blending it, I do like to use a foundation brush, which is more of a thick, shorter, shorter. I don't like those.
Densely packed.
Yeah, densely packed. Yeah, those are fantastic for blending it out. So I would recommend looking at those, and there are some really affordable brands that carry amazing brushes.
Yeah, Elf
now.
has some really good stuff now.
Elf has great stuff. There's
which stands for eyes, lips, face. Did you know that?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I was like, oh, it's Elf.
It's cool, yeah. Yeah, so you can really find some affordable brushes these days. Even like the really, really cheap brands. BH, I think Cosmetics has some good brushes. Like if you look at the higher end of their brushes, they have some really good brushes. And just look at the market, what is out there. And if you're lost, because I understand there's a million brushes, so if you're lost, just go talk to someone in the store. Like NYX Cosmetics has some great stuff as well. Or if you want a little better brushes that will last a long, long time, you can go into stores
Sephora?
like Bobbi Brown, Sephora, or MAC, and really just go down on the
Ulta,
stuff they
yeah.
got there. Go down on town.
And then now that it's the holiday season, this is not wedding related, but what do you think would be a good like holiday makeup for? So I have a Christmas party next Friday for my
Nice.
job. So what do you think? Because I'll probably do like a red lip or whatever, but I want to do something that shows my coworkers that I'm professional, but also like pretty. I don't want to do too sexy because
Yeah.
this is my coworkers. So
Yeah.
what are some recommendations for makeup for like that kind of event?
I was hoping you're gonna say I want to show them that I'm super fun. I was gonna say just do green glitter, girl.
They already know I'm super fun.
So, yeah, but definitely. So for holiday parties, especially, and where you want to look professional because it's a work party, you want to be understated, but still you want to catch an eye, right? So you want to go with maybe, definitely like you said, a red lip is amazing, but I would even go with a burgundy, so like something deep,
Yeah.
very light eyes. I love a combo of like a white, almost like a white careful because you don't want it to have like a green sheen. You want it to be more of like a white,
Like a bluish?
maybe like a bluish, white, bluish, shimmery eyeshadow on the eye. Just that. Just to put it on your finger, wipe it on your eyelid, make sure that it's blended really nice.
That's one thing I can do.
And do a thick layer of mascara. Brush up those brows, give them a little more definition with with a brow pencil. And then go in with a really deep burgundy. It's gonna look so cool and Christmassy and cozy. I love that combination because it's like a cool effect, and then a burgundy and just kind of really accentuates that. It's like you're wearing a beautiful Christmas wreath on your face.
It's like my favorite comfy sweater, but on my face.
Exactly, yeah. And then maybe do a little bit of a berry color on your cheeks to match that. Yeah, like a deeper berry color.
Okay.
Or you can go with a standard,
black
eyeliner, red lip, or you can go with little brown shadow, red lip. You can also do like a fun, maybe even like
white graphic liner.
White graphic liner, exactly. Yeah. With a little red lip or the burgundy lip even.
Yeah.
That would look fun.
Okay.
So still professional because it's not like crazy. There's no like glitter anywhere. But if you want to go crazy, yeah, I would totally get the stick-on little jewels and just have fun with it. It's Christmas. I mean, whatever.
That's true. I'm worried now that I'm in my 30s. Ugh, cough cough. That like some of my makeup might be too young. But then I'm like, who cares,
Exactly, you do you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just makeup,
Right. Do you have, like, a favorite wedding that you've ever done?
Oh my God. I have so many.
I know they kind of blur together, because they do for me, too. But maybe, like, your favorite wedding look that you've done over the past few years.
Yeah, I had a bride that had dreadlocks.
Ooh, cool.
Dress, and she had the Alice in Wonderland teacup kind of theme.
Oh,
cool. And she had a veil with little teacups and a little teapot.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, like little tiny porcelain teapot on top of her head. And she wanted green eyeshadow to kind of go with the theme. It was all like dreamy,
nature-y, like psychedelic almost.
Yeah, and it looks so cool. I mean, I was kind of scared to go into that because it's a very non-standard bridal look.
Right.
I even had someone that wanted a wedding that was based on sunflowers. She wanted yellow eyeshadow, which ended up looking freaking amazing. But as I'm patting it on, I'm thinking, oh my God, right?
Yeah. You're like, I hope this works.
Yeah, but I mean, trust the process, right? The teapot wedding, the Alice in Wonderland, it looked beautiful. The green eyeshadow was super fun. We kind of incorporated to look a little more dreamy, so it would kind of like bleed out into like the sides, but still it looked very understated.
Ethereal almost.
Exactly. That was what we were going for. So
that's cool. If you have photos, I'll put it up on our Instagram.
I'll find some. Yes.
And you're also married yourself.
Yes.
Right. And you've had 2 weddings, so
almost 3.
Almost 3. So why don't you tell us about your wedding day and what you would do now if you were to get married again today? Like, what would you do differently?
Well, oh my God, I am married, and
yes, I am married.
And what I would do...
She's like, I love you, honey.
He's not here, so it's cool. No, but like, I definitely recommend, oh my God, if you're ever thinking about eloping, I guess eloping, jump for it. Do it. Don't think about it 2 times. Do it. Freaking do it. Screw everybody. Go.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing. You don't have to lift a finger. And you are totally enjoying yourself, you know?
I would say the same thing, but also hire me when you do it.
Yeah, take Nina along for the ride. So she's, she's capturing you enjoying yourself.
Right, because a lot of times people are so worried about like what their family wants, even though it's their wedding day.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like you had the same issue, I remember.
I did. It
for
was
your
it
second
wasn't fun
wedding, but
because so I got married in Bali first time, and it was amazing. That was the elopement that we had, and I didn't lift a finger, and I got to have my dad, my stepmom, and our sister there with me, and it was such a special day because it was really intimate, and I didn't have to do anything. I did my makeup and I got my hair done because I didn't feel like having my arms.
you had the red hair still.
I had the purplish red hair.
It was so cool.
It was so much fun, and we did it with, we just had hearts everywhere, which is so cheesy.
No.
But trust me, if you're getting your wedding done in Bali, everything is cheesy. You have to pick from 8 cakes that are super cheesy, and then you have to pick from 8 bouquets, which are super cheesy.
Oh
so
gosh.
you just pick the least cheesy one.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. I didn't have to do anything. So
Yeah.
100% go for it. And then the second wedding, which I kind of did for my family back home because they were kind of, like
Pissed.
we really pissed is the exact thing.
Understatement.
Yeah. So they really wanted to be part of our day. So we're like, okay, let's do something small. So we had about 30 people, family kind of dinner with a little tiny reception outside under the trees.
Party.
Just make sure that you really stake out the spot,
The
location every month of the year, because when we were looking at our spot, it was beautiful, luscious green, and then when we came there in August, it was dead. Everything was dead.
Yeah.
It was so hot.
It was hot as balls. Like.
Yeah, everybody remembers my wedding day for being hot as balls. So don't get married in August. Yeah, and I did my hair and makeup that day. I went pretty dramatic. We had a steampunk Jules Verne
that was awesome.
wedding, so I was wearing a little black hat with beautiful thrifted wedding dress that my grandma helped me fix up. That I was working on it with my grandma. It was such a special memory for me, and we had everything outside, so it was a really special time to share with the family.
Right.
But yeah, it was a little stressful. I definitely remember being stressed out. Some friends didn't want to be there because of some friends, and some family didn't want to be there because of some family. So
it's always drama.
It's always a little drama, but in the end, I kind of was like, screw it, I'm just gonna do what I want.
Right.
And it ended up being fine, but
Right.
The anxiety got the best of me even during the wedding day. But there were people there that were like, you know what, everything is great, chill out. So
then you got drunk and had fun.
Yeah, and I can't think. It's really important for you to have those people close to you during those preparations. I can't thank Nina enough. I remember her running with me throughout the mall.
We were running through the mall because we were getting her jewelry, I think, picked up because they were sizing it or engraving it or something, and then we were running to the other side of the mall to pick up her other dress from dry cleaning. So it was like
crazy,
so fun, and then I think the day of her wedding, I was like, some of her like
you were helping me dye my hair, which is a no. You do not want to dye your hair the day of her wedding or the day before.
Don't do that. And then we were helping with like the party favors and all that stuff. So if you have people who can help you, please seek your help. But I think the point of me creating this podcast and trying to establish a community for people who are getting married is because I really want to make sure that people actually enjoy their wedding day, because I can't tell you how many times I've been photographing a wedding and I could just tell how stressed out the couple is, and I'm like,
it is a stressful time.
I'm sorry you're so stressed out, but listen, like, I had one couple who like half of their guests were late.
Oh,
and
boy.
so like we had to start super late, and like my bride was upset, and I'm like, listen, everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong. So let's just have fun now. And
Yeah.
she was like, you're right. And I was like, exactly. So
yeah, and that's a big part of your job and my job is to really make that bride feel good or
Right.
the groom or whoever is getting married.
Right.
You want to make sure that they feel really good, and that's such a big part of our job. Is kind of a psychiatrist or a therapist.
Yeah, I
to
honestly
say,
feel like maybe 50% of my job is taking pictures.
yeah,
The other 50%
talking
is
to them,
talking to people, bustling their dress,
yeah.
fixing their hair, getting them a drink.
Yeah,
You know, like
I can't tell you how many times I've buttoned the dresses because there was no mom or no
like
friend.
you don't understand like how little people, like I've led the dances on the dance floor because I do the electric slide 10 times a year, and some people don't do it 10 times, like they do it once every 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm over there being like, okay, the left, take it back now, y'all.
Yeah, and even for like the makeup artists, we're usually the first person they see, because when they're getting married, we're
Right.
putting on their makeup usually pretty early before the pictures are taken and before everything starts, and usually they come pretty nervous. They
Right.
haven't slept all night. They got a new pimple.
Yeah.
The husband is being a dick, or whoever is being a dick, and
Yeah.
it's only 6 a.m., right?
Right.
So you want to really sit them down and talk to them and make sure you
Right.
put them in a good place.
I like to say that, I am your extra bridesmaid because
Yeah.
I'm going to be there for you, like, when you're having a hard day. Like, you can talk shit to me about all the other bridesmaids because I don't know them. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here for you, girl, like, or boy, or whoever.
I'm definitely the mother-in-law therapist.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's like that, my mother-in-law.
My mother-in-law or my father-in-law.
Yeah, and I'm here for that because I want to put them in ease. I went through it myself, and I know that it's not easy. But it's all about you. And you know what we do in Slovakia first thing? We take a shot. Because in Slovakia, it's kind of the tradition.
Right.
So, usually when they're getting married and they haven't eaten anything yet, the shot is perfect.
And they're like, I feel amazing.
Exactly. It takes the edge off. You feel
Right.
better. And I could do your makeup.
Or smoke a blunt if you're not into alcohol.
If you're into that, totally.
So whatever, I think that's the whole...
It's your day.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. It's your day.
And I'm so glad that, you and I were able to sit down and talk about it because I admire you so much. Aww. And I love you, and I'm about to make you cry. But I'd love to have you back on the podcast. And now's your time to promote yourself. So, like, why don't you tell them your Instagram, Facebook, website, everything, where they can find you?
Yeah, so I'm just moved to US from Slovakia, so I have a lot of like European experience, but not enough US experience, and I would like to start working on clients again here. So you can find me under Vanda Pigments on Instagram or Facebook
and that's Pigme
and TS.
NTS, okay.
Yes, Vanda Pigments.
Pigments, okay.
Yes, like a pigment.
Yes.
So yeah, you can find me there. I would like to start getting into this again. I took a short break, but I love being a part of your big day. It's an amazing experience for me, and I'm sure that Nina shares that as well. Yes. Because we are super happy to...
We love love.
Yeah, we love love. We are super happy to make sure that your day is even better because of us, and to put that smile on your face when you see those pictures or when you see yourself in the mirror.
I know.
In that wedding dress.
It fills my heart,
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. It's like, it's the best high you can get.
Right. So if you guys have any questions for me, you can also reach out to me at the Modern Florida Wedding Podcast on Instagram. I also have a website. Currently, I am taking messages through my photography website, which is beritovaphotography.com. That's BERITHOVA. And let me know what you guys think, and send Vanda your messages and let her know if you tried any of her hacks for eyelashes or anything. So thank you so much for coming, and
thank you for having me. It was
really fun. Yeah, I love you.
Love you too.
Bye guys.